on this. Basically, a motion is a question to the decision-making body. Any member of a board might make a motion. For example, this is a motion that actually you will see written down in the staff reports or also in the agenda. Based on the findings and analysis listed in the staff report, the testimony and plans presented, I move that the Planning Commission forward a positive recommendation to the City Council for the requested street vacation according to PNN PCM 2015 00651. And uh, another member will then second that. Note that the person proposing this motion, that wrote down this motion, is the staff member. So if you are a planner, you will write this, and usually you will always put forward a positive recommendation to the city council on your application. So your goal as a staff planner is that the commission approves the plan or the application because you have worked with the applicant, because you already got like public comments. So your goal is to move forward this application. That is your recommendation. And then so you are recommending that to the board, who will then recommend that to the city council. So most times after somebody says like I already had like I second, you will go either right to left or left to right if you're the chair, to make to count the votes, and you will do this like verbally. So you will be like Commissioner Clark, and they will say A or nay, and then you will say Commissioner Wrinkle and A, nay, whatever it is, right? Um, and then you will then count, and this is done by the chair because they have to really pay attention of like calling if the motion passed or it didn't. Most times it passes unanimously, so everybody votes yes. This is the most common thing, like 90% of the time this would be the case. And then the chair will say, well, the motion passes. But, you know, if there was like some disagreement, it might be like just like five yes, right, or A's and four nays. And they will know that, and they say this passes, and the secretary will write down that in the minutes, and it will also have the names of the people who say yes or no. In the previous example, the motion was simply adopted, so just the staff member said, you know, positive recommendation, pass a positive recommendation to city council, and then people just unanimously accepted this. But motions have several characteristics. Motions can be debated, they can be amended, or they can be just adopted, like we had in the previous example. If a motion is debatable, this means that there may be a discussion of the motion. So usually, like if people were already having a heated discussion after someone makes a motion, most likely there will be a discussion as well. But when you already have like a discussion, it's possible that the motion that was made, it will be either withdraw, so somebody will say, yeah, I disagree, I'm going to propose exactly the opposite. Or, you know, it could be also tabled. It could be like, yeah, I don't know, but we don't have enough information. I would like to see a study on X, Y, and Z, and I would like to see this or that, and then let's table it until the next meeting and until you can provide more information. Or the applicant, you know, needs to provide more information, or the staff planner needs to provide more information, and then we will look at it. So you can do that table motion. But the most normal thing is also that the motion is amended. So the amended is that there will be some kind of change that you're asking. I'll give you an example here. Based on the findings and analysis listed in the staff report, the testimony and plans presented, I move that the Planning Commission forwards a positive recommendation to the City Council for the requested street vacation according to PNNPC 2015 00651 with the following conditions. So you can add this portion to that positive recommendation that you have some conditions with the following conditions. It is positive, but I have these conditions. One, and then you can add whatever you want here, to amend the subdivision and consolidate the parcels into one parcel, including the portion of 800 West. Two, record easements that will allow the city and other utility owners to maintain existing utility lines. And three, reconfigure the street with curb and gutter according to Salt Lake City specifications. So usually these amendments and conditions will come from the discussion that you were having, and different commissioners might add this, might add that. Now, when you're like adding some conditions, it's very important that the chair then ask the lawyer if what they're doing it could be done, and also the planning director, because it could be that the commission doesn't know the details in saying, something that you're asking that it will cost tons of money to the city, or that the city is already doing, considering not in one single application, but they're trying to change the whole ordinances for these in the future. Or it might be that you're taking away the rights of like the developer or the homeowner because of the conditions that you're adding. So you have to make sure that you are within the law and that what you're asking is reasonable. So if it's not reasonable, the director, the lawyer will dissuade you from adding those things. You say, yeah, you cannot do it because of X, Y, and Z. And at the end of the day, whatever it is that you have like these conditions, it's going to be more work, right, for the staff planner. So now the staff planner will have to deal with whatever is this. They will have to amend the subdivision and consolidate the parcels, or add that to the application into one parcel, and do the steps that are needed to do that. So the planning commission will not look at this again, but you as a staff planner. After making a motion, the commission votes. All members have a duty to vote. So members should not only abstain for specific reasons, for example, a conflict of interest, like they personally know the applicant or something like that. Maybe you're the board member of an organization like NeighborWorks America, and they are proposing a development, and you, before any motion is made, you will say, when the applicant come forward, I will not vote on this. I will abstain myself because I'm in the board of NeighborWorks. But sometimes people will abstain themselves for other reasons, like they feel they don't understand the application that well or the regulations. Maybe they are just simply undecided, and because their name will be at the end in the meeting minutes, they're saying, well, I'm undecided, so I'm just going to abstain myself from this one. But they just will have state something. So it's not not that it's not allowed, but it's not normal and not well seen that you will abstain yourself and don't say why. It's important that you say why you're abstaining yourself. Maybe you were too late to the meeting. It's like, I was late, I didn't hear the whole discussion. I'm sorry, I'm going to abstain myself from this one. But it's important that a member seeking to be excused from a vote, they say so before, because the issue is that this might, for example, if it created a tie based on the now there's attention, now there's potentiality for a tie, then the chair will not have to know, and they will want to move forward. Maybe they say, if there's too many abstentions, that means that maybe they should wait until they have a full commission to take a decision. So this is why it's important to say, if you're going to abstain yourself, just say it at first. And also because you are making a statement of why you're abstaining yourself, that might dissuade others from actually voting yes or no, or they might decide to abstain themselves too, and again delay that particular decision. So it's not fair that you will just say abstain yourself after, you know, three people already voted. They have yes or no, because what you said of why you're abstaining yourself, it might be important enough to change the mind of someone. And then the vote will pass if there's enough members, right? Saying yes to this application, and the vote will require a two-third majority under a quorum. This again is depending on your specific bylaws, but we are here using the examples of the planning commission. So you will be looking this in your homework, looking at the specific bylaws. The agenda items in a typical planning commission meeting are as discussed previously: the call to order and roll call, the approval of the minutes, the reports, the agenda items with public hearings, and as we have discussed in other lectures, the work sessions, which don't have like a public hearing and towards the end of the meeting, and you will have the just adjourn the meeting, for which you also have to have a motion. Robert rules are different depending on the meeting that you have to look at, and then you will look at the bylaws to understand why and how to what and how to run on your own meeting. After going through this, you can see why residents in general just hate Robert rules. This is a parliamentary procedure that is simply just hard to follow, and you should not use it if you don't have to use it. It is alienating and it's not inviting. So the main question of chapter 9 is how we can get away from the public hearing if you have the chance, meaning when it's not required by law, and make meetings more engaging.